iRacing. All right, it'll be Jody Ogden and AJ Gotze on the front row. Harley Barletta, Kevin Reed on the second row. Mark Nelson, Matt Bear have the third row. Jeffrey Parker and Scott Snodgrass on the fourth row. Jared Heasley, Larry Ashby rounding out the top 10. Richie West and Bill Percy, 11th and 12th. 13th is Jason Rome. Brian Oshinska is 14th. Brandon Springer, 15th. Vernon Spring, 16th. Jeremy Root, 17th. Gerald Thanospool, 18th. John Schmidt, 19th. Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel, 20th. 21st is Eric Stoy. Mark Dantuma is 22nd. And expect, as they start rolling for their pace lap, expect to see several cars drop to the back and work their way forward. Matt Bear said he was considering dropping back. Larry Ashby is going to be dropping back, and a few others. And as always, if you've got a favorite driver in the field, make sure you drop their name in the chat. We'll cheer them on with you. And while they do their pace lap, make sure you hit the snack bar and the share button real quick. Help get these guys some fill the stands and get everybody cheering for your favorite driver. Jody Ogden comes into tonight 10th in points, 31 points out of the lead. How many of those points is he going to make up tonight? Scott, the points leader, and Harley Barletta second in points. Neither driver very confident here tonight. Harley did qualify in third, but he said consistency was his problem. Scott qualified 8th, but was struggling the whole practice. Hopefully both have found something that helps get them going. And they are beginning to roll for the pace lap. Interesting, they chose a Porsche to pace them tonight. Everybody pacing pretty much single file for the moment. Looks like Larry Ashby jumped to pit road and is choosing to start from the pits out of overabundance of safety. Several of these drivers were in the GTE race here a couple of weeks ago. However, that was a completely different configuration and obviously not a huge benefit. They learned a little bit going up the hill, but a lot of the corners substantially different in the middle of the track. As they come down the straightaway toward the final turn, they'll come out of that final turn. The pace car will drop off as they go into that final horseshoe. Lap 1 is likely to tell the tale of this race. Everybody's got to give room and be a little bit patient. Matt Bear will be yelling bubble quite often. Pace car is in. They're going to lead them down, waiting for Barney the flagman to drop the green flag. Green flag is in the air. They are down and away at Sonoma. I keep wanting to say Sears Point. All right, up the hill they go. And this is where we will see a lot of the chaos coming up through this first section. Hard right-hander. It looks like Brian Oshinska going backwards quite a few spots on the inside. Continuing up to the top of the hill, and then they'll work back down. We've got a big crash. Jason Rome, Brian Oshinska involved. Vernon Spring went off track. And it looks like a couple of cars got together. That was Vernon Spring and Brian Oshinska get together. They collect Jason Rome. Everybody gets going the right way again. but a lot of cars losing ground as they come down to the horseshoe. And let's see if they are burning up the track. And there you go, as they continue to go around. That was at the start finish line. We'll try that again in a couple laps, but definitely some cars flying around the track. Bill Percy already, it was reading Bill Percy went to pit road, apparently not. Here they come back towards the start-finish line again. Purple Girlie cheering on Nicole Kriesel, who has actually worked her way up to 17th. Jason Rome is on pit road, and Matt Baer had an incident a lap ago. Oh, just loses it through the final horseshoe, manages to donut it and save the car, but meanwhile, Jody Ogden continues to march away from the field. AJ Godsey currently running in second. Kevin Reed in third. Harley Barletta is fourth. Jeffrey Parker is fifth. Jared Heasley up to sixth now. And Jeremy Root is on a mission. He started back in 17th. He is now up to 7th place. Matt Baer, after that spin, back to 8th place. Scott Snodgrass in 9th. Richie West in 10th. Eric Stoy, who started 21st, and now up to 11th. Gerald Poole now up to 12th after starting at 18th. Brandon Springer 13th. Mark Dantuma, who is extremely good on road courses, as evidenced by his truck race last night, his GTE race last night. He is up to 14th after starting 22nd. Several drivers starting to make their way forward, several headed backward. Mark Nelson, who started in 5th, is now back to 15th. Larry Ashby is 16th. Vernon Springs 17th. Brian Oshinska 18th. Nicole Kriesel 19th. Bill Percy in 20th. John Schmidt 21st. Jason Rome in 22nd. And Jody Ogden is about to be in lap traffic already. You heard him say he was going to conserve the tires a little bit. He has reached a point he is not pushing it anymore. Kevin Reed is pushing it. He is closing in on AJ Godsey for second place. Harley Barletta said he was not very confident about this one, and he is running in 4th. I'd say he's not doing too terribly bad. Jeremy Root has picked up another position. He is now up to 6th. No, Eric, it's similar to the crank it up thing. Oh, we've got a car going off. I believe that was the lap car. The 41 of John Schmidt was off track briefly as he let Jeremy Root go by. John Schmidt pulling to the high side, letting some of these leaders by. He's got some damage on the right rear as Matt Baer sneaks by. Matt Baer back up to 8th place now after the spin. And hunting down Jared Heasley in the 32. There is the track map with all the positions so you can track your favorite driver. Jeffrey Parker running in 5th is having a great race here. Wasn't expecting to see that, but here he is running in 5th right now. And I think he is one of only, no, there's about 3 Fords in the field. But it is definitely a Chevy-dominated field here tonight. Jody Ogden is now coming to lap Jason Rome. And you got to wonder, how hard is Jason going to fight to stay on the lead lap here? Jason in 21st place, and after the incident on the first lap. Bill Percy definitely needed a good run tonight based on the point situation and a couple of really rough races, but currently running in 20th. Jody Ogden continuing to lead. He gets past Jason Rome and is now running down Bill Percy. And when he gets back towards the front straightaway, we'll kick it back on again. Pay attention to the flames, Aaron. Jody has already lapped a couple of cars, and he's now coming by Nicole Kriesel as Bill Percy gets by. Nicole still in playoff contention in the truck series, and you can only be in contention in one series right now. Her focus being on the trucks. And here come the leaders out through the horseshoe, and we'll have cars crossing the start-finish line in just a second. All right, let's get back to the action. Jody Ogden has extended his lead now to 3.5 seconds over AJ Godsey and Kevin Reed, who are now coming around to lap Bill Percy. Brian Oshinska is the next target for Jody Ogden. There is the in-car from Jody as he comes to the start-finish line. Let's take a lap in the leader's car. Up the hill, having to get out of it, get on the brakes very early, cut everywhere he can to minimize turning. The car gets loose so easy right here. Back on the gas as he dips down and heads back up, and again, have to be careful how much you turn the wheel. You see he has to fight the turn just a little bit. Down into the far end of the track. Not even shifting through there, just reaching max RPM, then getting back out of it. Cuts back around and coming through one of the highest speed parts of the track, down through the S's. Then full throttle through until you get to the horseshoe. Getting on the brakes, pit road entry on the left. We'll start seeing people hit there in about 5 laps. And back around through the final kink to the start finish line. That is a lap around that took Jody 1 minute 20.88 seconds. Definitely the fastest on track, as AJ Godsey's last lap, 1:21.27. Kevin Reed right there equal. Jeffrey Parker just had an incident. Going up the hill, catches a little bit of the grass and gets on the brakes quickly enough. He does not go into the outside wall, but that got a little close. You get in the grass here and you are in trouble. Jeremy Root has now made his way to 5th place and is trying to run down Harley Barletta. The top 5 really starting to pull away. 5th place, Jeremy Root is now 10 seconds ahead of 6th place, Jeffrey Parker. But the top 5 all within 8.2 or 8.3 seconds. As they continue, another car on the move. The next biggest mover right now, at least, is Gerald Poole, who started in 18th. He is now up to 11th. Jeffrey Parker had another incident. And it looks like possibly in the same spot, he clips the dirt and heads off track again. And does so right in front of the points leader, Scott Snodgrass. Scott manages to get up to speed and get past him, but that got a little dicey as some of the top 10 right there with him. Eric Stoy now up to 12th. Mark Dantuma up to 13th. And Jody Ogden just continues to pull away. His lead now almost 6 seconds at the line. He did say in pre-race he was going to take it easy as we've got a car off track. That was Vernon Spring. Vernon coming up the hill. It looks like Nicole Creasel went a little wide through the turn, and then Vernon just overcorrects. AJ Godsey in second, still has Kevin Reed, and now Jeremy Root has gotten past Harley Barletta. let's see how Jeremy managed to pull that off. Harley was not confident coming in. A little wiggle as he comes out of the horseshoe, and it looks like Harley just struggling to get up to speed. Harley almost wrecking right behind him. AJ Godsey up to second now, but Kevin Reed staying right there with him. Both of them in trouble, though. Jeremy Root is coming forward quickly. Jeremy Root actually has the second fastest lap of the race so far, and currently is running down not only Kevin and AJ, but he is running down Jody Ogden as AJ goes off track, Jeremy goes off track. You're not on the rally version of Sonoma, guys. That actually is a spot on the rally course at Sonoma. That is actually one of the turns. So it looks like some of these guys forgot they were not on the rally course. And AJ really trying to fight there on the inside. Can't get the car straight. Jeremy Root now to third. Kevin Reed to second. And AJ goes off track again. Harley Barletta has caught back up, and Matt Bear has crashed. Clips the apron just a little. Oh, got back on the throttle too hard. Spins it around. He is really melting those rear tires. Scott Snodgrass managing to sneak by as he comes up to speed. Harley Barletta back in fifth. Scott Snodgrass, points leader, now up to sixth. Matt Bear is seventh. Jeffrey Parker is eighth. Gerald Poole has made his way to ninth. Mark Dantuma in 10th. Look at this crowd right behind him. These are all for position. It's going to get messy here. Oh, we've got a car. That's Eric Stoy spinning back behind. He gets the car straightened out. And the 86 of Mark Nelson is missing his front clip. Mark Dantuma, though, continues his march forward as well. He is trying to run down Gerald Poole. The 113 is a lap car. That's Vernon Spring. Trying to get out of the lead lap car's way. And here comes Richie West. Jared Heasley in that group as well. That's ninth place through about 14th right now, all in a line and keep battling. Gerald Poole gets a little wiggle out of the turn as the lap car of Jason Rome right in front of him. Gerald Poole still running the John Paul Jr. Huntington's Disease Foundation car. He runs that same paint scheme on his truck as well. Great job by Gerald and all involved, raising almost $1,000 for that charity just a couple of weeks ago. So huge shout out for him to keep running that car, keep helping raise awareness. And it looks like Gerald's finally starting to pull away, but here comes Mark Dantuma up the hill. He closes right back into the back bumper. And Richie West staying right there with him. Richie, not a big road racer, but obviously has a bit of talent here. He needs to start running the GTE series on Saturday nights. Jared Heasley now up in 12th place. He has slipped back, and Mark Nelson, you gotta be impressed. Look at that, missing the entire front clip and is still battling for position. He's got Eric Stoy all over the back bumper, and I'd imagine this is where Mark is gonna struggle just a little bit as the lap car of Jason Rome. Eric Stoy sticks the nose in, has a lot more momentum and a lot more grip through this high-speed section, but he can't get around him yet. As they try and navigate a couple of lap cars, Vernon Spring and Jason Rome. down through the horseshoe. 25 laps to go. Should start seeing, Jared Heasley had a crash, and we should start seeing pit stops anytime. Jared Heasley down into the final turn, and oh, just sends it in too deep, sends it around. Manages to get the car straightened out and avoid causing any more chaos. Great save by Heasley. Jody Ogden's lead continuing to grow. It's now 11 seconds over Kevin Reed, and Jeremy Root all over the back bumper of Kevin Reed. And Kevin goes wide through the final turn. Jeremy Root gets by. Harley Barletta in fourth, has not fallen as much as he expected. AJ Godsey, after those problems that he had earlier, slipping off the track just a little bit, now back to fifth. Scott Snodgrass has made his way back up into sixth now. He had fallen outside the top 10, picked up a couple of spots during other drivers going off track, and Bill Percy has a crash. What in the world? We're going to have to back that up a little bit and see, because something went horribly wrong there. Looks like as he came off the corner there, he got on the gas a little too hard, and it just went around on him. He ended up towing to pit road. Hopefully he'll be able to get his repair and get back out on track. "24 laps to go." You have to wonder if these drivers can split the difference and do 20-lap stints. Most drivers were saying they were going to try and two-stop this, but it looks like they might be able to do this on one stop, but they're going to have to be very careful with their tires. Jeremy Root now in second, 11.2 seconds back, and trying to run the leader down. Kevin Reed in third, just trying to hang with Jeremy, but Jeremy has already pulled away 1.5 seconds. Harley Barletta, another 1.8 seconds back. AJ Godsey, 5 seconds behind him, and then the gap to sixth place is huge. It is 12 seconds back to Scott Snodgrass. Nicole pulling over, letting Scott by here. Gerald Poole is Richie West and Gerald Poole both just involved in an incident. Richie was gaining on. Gerald is, oh, they just get together coming out of the horseshoe. Gerald ends up in the outside wall. Richie manages to keep going, and it looked like Mark Dantuma had the run. Gerald really had to check up there, and chaos ensued. And Topher is cheering on Scott's. Never mind. I just read that. Shut up. AJ Godsey is in fifth. Last season he was dominant, but here at the road courses, this seems to be where he struggles the most. And by struggle, we mean he's just not as fast as he usually is. Oh, and then he gets a little bit loose, catches a little bit of dirt there. He's still wiggling that car as he goes down and back up the hill. And he's off track again. Vernon Spring involved in another incident. Looks like the same area we saw Bill Percy, and almost the same wreck that Bill Percy had just 2 laps ago. Just did not have the car planted. When he got on the throttle, it turned around on him. Nicole Creasel is on pit road. Vernon Spring has come to pit road. And Jody Ogden continuing to pull away, 11.7 seconds over Jeremy Root. And Kevin Reed is actually now starting to gain. Gerald Poole involved in another incident. AJ Godsey on pit road. Oh, just clipped a little too much of the rumble strip there, it looked like, and as he was getting on the gas, sent him around. AJ Godsey giving up 5th place. He is on pit road. Now, how long? Knowing Jody Ogden knows that AJ is not as fast as him, but he's going to be a lot faster on fresh tires. Jody's already lost over 2 seconds a lap just having been out there, as has everybody else. If AJ's 2 seconds a lap faster, he's going to be gaining a ton of time. But to split the race evenly, he's got to go about 2 more laps. And Jody does stay out. Does Jeremy Root stay out? He's now 12 seconds back. Jeremy Root not coming to pit road. Kevin Reed not coming to pit road. So everybody's going to stay out just a little bit longer. AJ Godsey trying a short pit strategy. Harley Barletta comes to pit road. And Jody Ogden continuing to lap the field. Now running down Brandon Springer, and Brandon just goes way wide in the corner, lets Jody by. Which is funny because normally we expect Brandon to have more grip with the peanut butter dripping on the tires. Matt Bear is on pit road. Mark Nelson is on pit road and probably going to get that new clip put on. Jody Ogden coming down to the halfway point. Does he hit pit road this time or next? He does not come to pit road. We'll see how far he tries to stretch it. As race sponsor Larry Ashby of Christy May's restaurant in Albuquerque, New Mexico, he is currently the next car to be lapped. Jeremy Root has come to pit road. Kevin Reed now back in second. Scott Snodgrass, having not been to pit road, is now up to 4th place. Drops to the inside of Nicole going through the final turn. Batman and Robin, driven by Brian Oshinska, currently in 17th. Mark Nelson is back out on track and does have a new front clip on the car. Mark Dantuma, Jared Heasley both on pit road now. Watching Jody Ogden come. Jody goes to pit road this time, just after he lapped Larry Ashby. Will Kevin Reed more than likely come down, as will Scott Snodgrass. As they head toward pit road, Kevin Reed does not go to pit road this time. He's going to go 1 lap further. Hoping a little tire strategy gives him an advantage over Jeremy Root and Jody Ogden. Jeremy Root coming by Nicole Creasel as Jody Ogden is still on pit road. Will he be able to get off pit road in time? Remember, he qualified first. He has the first pit stall. He does not have far to go to get off pit road and start up the hill. Jody Ogden is on his way off pit road. And up the hill he goes. Scott way behind. Scott also has not been to pit road yet. Jeremy Root a little bit further back. He is now 30 seconds behind Kevin Reed, 10 seconds behind Jody Ogden. And it looked like Brian Oshinska had a incident and went off track. We still have a few cars, though, that have not pitted. Kevin Reed, Scott Snodgrass, Jeffrey Parker, Richie West, Eric Stoy, Gerald Poole have not been to pit road, nor has Brandon Springer or Brian Oshinska. Kevin Reed comes to pit road. Brandon Springer missed pit road. Jody Ogden is closing in on Scott Snodgrass to lap him. And Scott stays out one more lap. Kevin Reed is still on his way into pit road as Jody Ogden reclaims the lead. And Kevin Reed just hitting the pit box. Scott Snodgrass now to second. Jeremy Root now in third. Harley Barletta up to fourth. Kevin Reed on his way off pit road. He will hold on to fifth. It looks like AJ Godsey too far behind to catch him. Green flag pit stops have been completed and everybody has gotten 4 fresh tires and fuel and they can go the distance. Actually, there's still a few cars out there that haven't been to pit road. Larry Ashby is on pit road. Scott Snodgrass actually hasn't been to pit road yet. I can't imagine he can take that car much further on the fuel load. Bill Percy drops in the comment to say, need to do away with road courses. Road courses in stock cars are extremely difficult. And you see Scott Snodgrass, he has got to get some new tires soon. That car is all over the place, and Jeremy Root is closing in. But Jody Ogden, who had ran the fastest lap in practice, had the fastest qualifying lap, just ran the fastest lap, and then it got trounced by Jeremy Root. Jody Ogden ran... Oh, Scott Snodgrass is off track. Jody Ogden ran a 118.81. Jeremy Root just ran a 118.6. Those are the only 2 laps the whole race that have been in the 118s. Most drivers 119, 120. Jeffrey Parker on pit road. I would imagine Scott is coming to pit road this time. Kevin Reed will move up to 4th. AJ Godsey likely to 5th, but then it becomes a question of how quickly Scott can get back out and if he can hold off Richie West and Eric Stoy. And a little blink out of Jody. Here comes Jeremy Root. Both drivers now starting to drop off their fastest lap pace just a little bit, trying to conserve the car a little bit. They still have 15 laps to go, and Jeremy Root has 8.5 seconds to make up, but he's made it. Oh my goodness, he is off track in the grass. And again, I'll mention, this is part of the rally course, but guys, you're not supposed to be rally driving right now. Jody Ogden coming back down to the lead. Crank up the volume. All right, back with Jody Ogden, who's he touches just as we get to him. Him and Jason Rome get together just a little bit. Jeremy Root in second place. Now 7.5 seconds back. That bump with Jason Rome obviously slowed him down a little bit, but not that whole bit. It looks like Jeremy Root is charging his way to the front. Last time by, Jody was 0.3 of a second faster, but it looks like this time by, it's going to be Jeremy Root as he is closing the gap quickly. 14 laps to go, just over 7 seconds. All he has to do is make up half a second a lap. Could be easier said than done here. But Jody lost a lot of time on that lap. He lost right at 2.5 seconds. Harley Barletta in third, now 6 seconds behind Jeremy Root, 6 seconds ahead of Kevin Reed. Kevin now 7.5 seconds ahead of AJ Godsey. Matt Baer, who has spun the car twice and is now back up into 6th. You got to give it to Matt. He is just, every time he's turned it around, he's just done a 360, got back going again. It's not slowed him down. Eric Stoy now to pit road. Gerald Thanos Poole has not been to pit road yet. He is the only driver that hasn't been. Mark Dantuma continues his march to the front as well. He started in 22nd. He is now up to 8th place. Jason Rome had an incident. Let's see if it's the same one that we saw with Jody. No, he just shot off the track. Ends up going through the grass and almost has an incident right in front of Harley Barletta. Manages to get that car going again. But Jason Rome definitely struggling here. Jason Rome has actually come back to pit road now. Jody Ogden just lapped Richie West. Now 12 cars left on the lead lap. Jeremy Root still 7.25 seconds back. He seems to gain a little bit of time here in the second part of the track. Brandon Springer and Scott Snodgrass both wrecked. Looks like Scott coming down. Oh, he just clips the apron as he tries to get set into the corner. Looked like Brandon Springer might have had a similar incident and spun to the inside. Almost had that thing saved as it got loose on the way into the corner. Spins around on him, but he almost saved it. Apparently, Brandon needs to increase the flow of peanut butter to the tires. Jody Ogden continuing to march his way forward. He's about to lap Jeffrey Parker, who is in 11th place. Jeremy Root has cut the lead down now to 5.5 seconds as he continues his march forward. He's got 11 laps to go to try and get to Jody Ogden. You have to wonder, Jeremy Root is really sending it as he goes off track. Manages to gather it up just in time for the horseshoe. And a little wiggle on exit. And he lost a full second just trying to gather that car up. Now 6.5 seconds is the gap. 10 laps left to go. Jody Ogden has been dominant all night long. He is coming around now, going to come around Brandon Springer again. Just lapped Jeffrey Parker. The next car for him is Scott Snodgrass, not that far ahead. And a little slide out of Jared Heasley there. Jared holding on to ninth. He's got a top 10 run going all night as he ducks to the inside of Jason Rome. Oh, Jared spins right in front of Jason Rome. Gets back on it, turns the car around. He'll get going. I don't believe he did lose 10th place as Scott Snodgrass slips by. Now Scott back up into ninth. Jared Heasley back to 10th, but Jared Heasley has a 3-second lead over Jeffrey Parker if he can keep it going the right way for 9 more laps. But Jody Ogden is now coming to lap him. And Jeremy Root, that 1 second that he lost just a lap ago, has already started to chomp away at it again. As he comes up to the back bumper of Brian Oshinska in the 44. Brian lets him by. And now to run down Richie West. 10 cars left on the lead lap. The last car on the lead lap is Jared Heasley. And look who's behind him. Yep, it's Jody Ogden in the lead. He's got Jared Heasley and Nicole Kriesel right in front of him. Oh, we've got cars everywhere. Jason Rome is sideways. Nicole Kriesel went off. And, oh, Jody had a little struggle there getting up off the turn. Okay, let's see what happened to Jason Rome. And it looks like Brandon Springer had another incident. We saw Jason almost identical to what we saw happen to Bill Percy earlier in the race. Looked like Jared Heasley lost it trying to be evasive. Nicole Kriesel manages to get checked up, but several cars go flying back by. All right, Brandon Springer also had an incident. Let's see what happened to him. Oh, Eric Stoy gets into the back. I don't know what was happening there. It looked like Brandon Springer was dropping to the bottom to let somebody by. And just Eric Stoy just found the back bumper with nowhere to go. Jeffrey Parker also had an incident. Late in the running, everybody a little bit tired. Oh, he grabs a little bit of the apron and turns it around. Jody Ogden's going to come around and get 7 laps to go, but Jeremy Root is right there. He gets into the back bumper of Richie West. Looked like Richie West just checked up a little bit more, and Jeremy Root was already to the inside. Just not enough room. Both drivers trying to occupy the same real estate never works out. And don't forget, right after this, we do have the Fast and Fun ARCA series from the Nashville Super Speedway. And a lot of these drivers will be in that field, including the second place in points. Harley Barletta is also second place in points in that series. Scott Snodgrass is currently in 10th place. He was the points leader coming into tonight. Harley Barletta looks like he may assume that points lead. Jason Rome was 3rd in points. He has had a hard night, as has 4th place in points Richie West. Eric Stoy in 5th in points. But Jeremy Root, Jody Ogden, both. Jeremy was 8th in points. Jody was 10th in points. Both drivers going to pick up a ton of positions here tonight. Scott is actually missing his hood right now. Jeremy Root has lost some more ground and is now 6.6, 6.7. He's actually losing ground to Jody Ogden now. The gap is now 7 seconds. Jody Ogden can relax just a little bit here. You see, he is not pushing as hard as we have seen it tonight. He's seen that gap growing. Harley Barletta did not expect much tonight, but here he is running in third and taking the points lead as he passes Jason Rome, who's third in points, but Jason currently 17th on track. Jason having a rough night tonight after a great start to the season, but he'll be able to come back and recover. Jeremy Root has now lost even more. I think there's some damage on Jeremy Root's car. There is a little bit of damage on the left front. He must have hit a wall. Oh, no, that was where he hit Richie. Where him and Richie West got together. He's got some damage to the left side. I don't think it's enough to be impacting the handling, but he is definitely nowhere near as fast as he was. He's actually losing ground to Jody Ogden now. And Jody is not pushing as hard as he can now with 5 to go. Jody Ogden out front. He's going to come back around to the start-finish line. How about we crank up the noise one more time? All right, back up front, Jody Ogden's going to come down and get 3 to go. Jeremy Root in second. Harley Barletta in third. Kevin Reed in fourth is 5.5 seconds back from Harley Barletta and gaining on. Nicole Kriesel has been in a crash. Nicole Kriesel was definitely having a rough night, but this, as she coming up the hill, manages to get stopped before Larry Ashby gets there. Just missed the turn a little bit and definitely struggling a bit here tonight, but she is stuck with it. That's why she is the first lady of BRR. Another driver who has made an astounding run through the field tonight, Mark Dantuma. Mark started in 22nd. He is now up to 18th. He had a similar run in the trucks last night and has been extraordinarily fast in the GTE series on Saturday nights as well. Continues to make his way forward. He is 2 seconds behind Mark Nelson, who actually has a front clip now, but Dan Tuma is definitely gaining very, very quickly. That lead now chopping away at it. Jody Ogden continuing to lap cars. And Mark Nelson actually pulling away a little bit. We haven't talked about Matt Bear in a while, but he continues to have a consistent run. He's currently in 6th, although it doesn't look like he is going to pull off the win he predicted here tonight. Jody Ogden got popsicle sticks. This time he has 2 to go. Jeremy Root now 8.5 seconds back. No, unless Jody Ogden makes a huge mistake, it's pretty much his race to lose. Jeremy Root in 2nd, Harley Barletta 3rd, Kevin Reed in 4th. AJ Godsey, after problems early, pitted early. Oh, a little wiggle out of the horseshoe. AJ Godsey was the first car to pit road, and it has obviously paid off. He's made his way back to 5th. Matt Bear 6th. Mark Nelson is 7th. Mark Dantuma is 8th. And Mark Dantuma is actually closing back down again. Looks like the first 2/3 of the track, Mark Dantuma is faster, but once they come down to this portion, Mark Nelson seems to pull away. Vernon Spring involved in another incident. Too hard on the rumble strips. These rumble strips in a cup car are just deadly. White flag for Jody Ogden. Just a minute and 20 seconds. He has to keep it stable, keep it going the right way. Jared Heasley crashed. Jared Heasley has some heavy damage to that car. Oh, a similar incident to what we saw with Bill Percy earlier in the race and Brandon Springer. Jared Heasley skips pit road, slides in behind Eric Stoy, but Jared has lost a ton of spots since his first incident. He's now back in 12th. But not far behind Eric Stoy. He's got 1 lap to go, while Jody Ogden is headed toward the finish line now. Down the final straightaway, through the horseshoe, and then just the kink. He will be at the start-finish line and win for the first time this season. And a little flourish there as he comes out of the horseshoe for the final time. And Jody Ogden wins at Sonoma. Jeremy Root's going to come home in 2nd place. Harley Barletta in 3rd. Kevin Reed gaining on him, but still 3.3 seconds behind. Although Harley does have some lap traffic right in front of him, backs off a little bit, not going to try and pass anybody. There's Kevin Reed just a little further back. And it will be Harley Barletta finishing 3rd, Kevin Reed 4th, AJ Godsey finishes 5th. Then it's Matt Bear in 6th, Mark Nelson 7th, Mark Dantuma is 8th, Scott Snodgrass in 9th, but can he hold on to it? Yep, he finishes 9th, as when Jody crossed, a lot of drivers finished. All right, let's see if we can get a word with our winner. Hey, Jody, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug.
First off, you do not sound the least bit worn out after that.
I don't know. I'm sweating, that's for sure.
Well, you had a dominant performance tonight. It's worth noting, at one point after pit stops, you ran the fastest lap, and then a few seconds later, Jeremy came across and ran an even faster lap by almost 0.2 of a second and was storming up to you until I guess his tires went away and he just lost a ton of time.
Yeah, I seen him coming. Jeremy's obviously fast everywhere, so I knew he would be a threat. But I seen him closing in, and then we got in some of that lap traffic, and he kind of had some trouble as well as everyone else trying to get through it. So, but yeah, I was able to hold him off. I tried to save my tires and keep from spinning them, and it paid off. So.
Well, it definitely did, and it's worth noting you came out of the final the last time around the horseshoe and slung the back end around, a little showing off there.
No, actually, I was just wanting to get across that damn line before something happened.
There was a lot of chaos for some of the drivers. Harley Barletta almost had an issue as he came to the line. So, yeah, I don't blame you there. And congratulations, your first win of the season. And, yeah, a great points night, too.
Thanks a lot, Doug. I appreciate it. And I appreciate what you do with your broadcasting, too. You do a great job.
Hey, thanks, buddy. All right, Jody Trying to put Jody back. Okay, Jody Ogden with the win. Kevin Reed helping him celebrate a little bit. Harley, it's Doug. You got me?
What's up, buddy?
Well, you finished third tonight, which I know is probably better than you thought you were going to do here tonight. You were a little concerned about the road race.
Yeah, definitely, and especially these cars. I ran next gens a couple weeks ago here, and those cars are a lot smoother than these. These things are just like all over the place, very touchy on the throttle, and just no front grip at all.
It definitely showed. You had a couple of, let's say, scary moments throughout the race, but and then coming to the finish line at the end, you caught up to a bunch of lap traffic and had to back off, and you actually lost a second to Kevin Reed there. It looked like he might have a last-ditch effort for you.
Yeah, I was trying to keep it as far ahead of him as I could because I knew I was coming up on those guys, and they were racing pretty hard. I don't know if they're all in the same lap, but they were going at it, and I had no choice but to stay behind them or get wrecked probably. So,
well, you managed to keep it straight, not get wrecked. Scott ends up finishing in ninth. Some quick math, you take the points lead, and it looks like you might actually pull ahead just a little bit because of Scott's finish and Jason's finish, Richie's finish, Eric's finish. The guys that finished in front of you were 8th and 10th coming into tonight, so you might actually pick up a little bit of a gap in points as well as the lead.
whoop, whoop. Well, that's what you always hope for that, but, I mean, I got to give everyone on the track, everyone lap down cars, and even people we were racing with were running really, really good and giving everybody room. It was great.
Well, it looked like a ton of fun, man. Congratulations, a heck of a run, and you are the points leader now coming out of Sonoma.
Thanks, man. I'll see you in ARCA.
Hey, quick question. Are you going to come out of the ARCA race with the points lead tonight, too?
I'm not sure. I haven't run the ARCA car at Nashville yet, so we'll see.
All right, good luck, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Taking a quick look to see if Jeremy Root has hopped in somewhere. It doesn't look like Jeremy Root has hopped into Discord to be able to talk to us tonight. So congratulations to him on a second place finish, and he's going to pick up a bunch of points as well as Jody Ogden. The points are definitely going to shift tonight. You can go check out the points at brrpoints.com. And make sure you go check it out. You can see for every series, the truck, the cup, the GTE series, you can see all of those points settings. And I know Jason will update everything tomorrow, so you can look at the points coming into tonight. And then tomorrow you'll be able to see where the points stand. It has been a wild one, and it's going to get even wilder as Fast and Fun takes the ARCA cars to the Nashville Super Speedway here in just a few moments. So don't go anywhere and stick around. It's going to be more epic racing.